Holy, holy night. Above us, one star speaks hope as our voices raised in praise rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Warmed by glowing hearts aflame, how beautiful is the knowing that heavenly light shines brightest whilst night enfolds us.
Oh, Mary had a baby. Mary had a baby. Mary had a baby. By and by. Born in a manger. Born in a manger. Born in a manger. By and by. In Bethlehem. In Bethlehem. In Bethlehem. By and by. A Prince of Peace. Prince of Peace. A Prince of Peace. By and by. Mighty Counselor. Mighty Counselor. Counselor. By and by. 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 Oh, Mary had a baby. Oh, Mary had a baby. Mary had a baby. By and by. By and by. Oh, Lord, I wonder. Oh, Lord, I wonder. Oh, Lord, I wonder. Oh, by and by. Oh, by and by. Oh, by and by.
Happy Christmas Eve! Welcome to Roncesvalles United Church for our Christmas Eve service. I'm Reverend Ann Hines, and as I do every year, I'm happy to welcome you into our sanctuary. Well, okay, today isn't exactly like every other Christmas Eve, is it? There's a few things you're going to notice about our Christmas Eve service that are really different, starting with our empty sanctuary. But come on in, you're so welcome. Now, if you're one of the many Roncy neighbors who join us for Christmas Eve service, you'll know that usually this place is full of families waiting for the Christmas Eve service to start, waiting to hear Ken Whiteley's band, beautiful pieces of scripture, lots of color and light, and of course our dancing at the end. Well, this year we can't do that, and we are so sorry not to be with you. But we are happy that this year, because we're on video, we can share with lots of people in lots of places. So I'm giving a big shout out to those watching tonight from Maple Ridge in BC, from Beachy in Saskatchewan, from Brighton in Ontario, and so many other places. We're so glad to share our Roncesvalles United Christmas Eve service with you. We're going to try to do some of our usual things. Ken Whiteley has provided us with music. Our local tenor, David Walsh, our very favorite, is going to be singing A Holy Night. You already heard a poem by our Roncesvalles United Church Poet Laureate, Margot Van Slootman, to start us off. And of course, at the beginning of every Christmas Eve service, I drop the cape and show my Christmas Eve dress for that year. So let's get started in that usual way. I am ready to drop the cape for this year's outfit, and here we go. 'Cause hey, if you can be in your pajamas this time this year, so can I. Let's take it away with our Christmas Eve service. David Walsh is going to get us started by singing, Oh Holy Night. Welcome, welcome to Roncesvalles United Church. It's Christmas Eve.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is a night of the dear Savior's birth. light of a star sweetly gleaming, here came the wise men from Orient land. The King of Kings lay thus in lowly manger, in all our trials, born to be a friend. He knows our need, to our weakness is no stranger. Behold your King, before him lowly bend. Behold your King, before him lowly bend. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is a brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord. Oh, praise his name forever. His power and glory evermore proclaim. His power and glory evermore proclaim.
I'm reading from Luke chapter 2, verses 1 to 7, the birth of Jesus. In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration and was taken while Quirinius was governor of Syria. All went to their own towns to be registered. Jesus also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judah, to the city of David called Bethlehem. Because he was descended from the house and family of David, he went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged and who was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for her to deliver her child. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in bands of cloth and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn.
a travel writer, decided that instead of taking the long flight home to the United States years ago, he was going to stay in Bavaria because he'd heard of a small town that had a beautiful Christmas Eve service in a tiny church way up on a mountainside. So as Christmas Eve came and darkness began to fall, the travel writer walked up a little path, a narrow path, leading up the mountainside through the dark, tall trees, up and up through the dark and cold, until at last he came to a small clearing, where sure enough there was a small wooden house, a tiny little church, completely dark. Well, this is strange, wondered the travel writer. This famous Christmas Eve service is going to begin any time now, and this place is in complete darkness. Where is everyone? But he had come a long way for the Christmas Eve service, so he huddled down into his down coat and sat on the church steps and waited in that tiny, dark clearing for something to happen. And sure enough, as the bells down in the town began to toll for midnight, he saw a prick of light down the mountainside through the trees. And the prick of light was added to by another prick of light and another prick of light. And the lights were slowly, slowly moving, first in the darkness as they went through the trees, then a little less light, a little more light as they came out into an opening, and he could see finally a trail like a train of stars coming up the mountainside. And then at last, someone entered the clearing. Person after person came into that clearing towards the church where he sat, holding high a lantern, lit, warming up the night, suddenly making that tiny clearing into a glow of radiant firelight. The people opened the church door and went into that quiet, cold wooden church. And the travel writer could see all around the inside of the church there were pegs, and each person who came, man, woman, and child, reached up and hung their lamp as high as they could if they were tall, or on a lower peg if they were small, until the entire small church was lit up with a bright glow of lanterns and the warmth of the fire and the people. The service itself didn't last very long. People sang a few old carols, probably O Holy Night, probably Gloria, the song that the shepherds used to sing across the Alps to each other. Angels we have heard on high. There was a short message. And then the people took down their lanterns from the pegs again and began to file out of the church and down the mountainside. The travel writer caught up to one of the people as he walked along beside them down the trail, and he said, "You know, we are living in the 21st century. It wouldn't be so hard to get electricity into the church. Then you could have it warmed up when people come. Then you could have it lit when they arrive on Christmas Eve." And the person he spoke to, an older woman, said, "This is how we've done it as long as I can remember. And this is how we have to do it. Because every Christmas Eve as we bring our lantern up the mountain and hang it on a peg and see the church fill with light, we're reminded it takes each of our lights to light up the world." That is a very beautiful, I think, and certainly it's a very true story. And it's one that speaks to me so much at this Christmas time. Because we have been walking in anxiety and uncertainty and darkness, it has felt like light was hard to come by in the last while. And we are told and can anticipate that the months ahead will feel even darker. But the fact of the matter is that in every time and in every place, people have celebrated at this time of year when it is the darkest. And we have celebrated the return and the feeling of light. Our ancient ancestors cut down pine branches and put them in their homes and on their front doors to celebrate the return of spring and greenery that they knew was coming. They lit bonfires. They held hands and sang. Over and over, whatever was happening in the history of people before us, whatever they were suffering through or worried about, wherever they were anticipating in the long, dark nights ahead, they began that time by celebrating with light. Well, I had another story brought to me today, and for this part, we're going to move over to the other side of the sanctuary. Come with me. From the look of all of these toys, you may think I'm standing in Santa's workshop, but I'm not. I'm in our church sanctuary, and these toys are the result of the toy drive that we participated in with the Parkdale Community Food Bank this year. These toys started out as a dribble, one toy at a time, and yet over the weeks, person after person, families with children, seniors, and people on their own have come and offered toys. They've offered light. Because make no mistake, these are not just toys. Every single one of these is a pinprick of light in some child's Christmas morning and in a parent's heart who might not have been able to put anything under the tree. So piece by piece by piece and toy by toy by toy, we have built here a place that is full of light and life and love, one light at a time. One person at a time, one toy at a time. Let's go back over so we can finish our time together. The Christian story of Christmas that has been told for thousands of years all around the world is absolutely a story that tells us that everybody's light is welcomed and needed. The star shone in the heavens, giving guidance, but it took all of the shepherds and the kings and Mary and Joseph to realize that story of possibility and magic, a story of the return of light in the midst of dark times, a story about love and kindness, which are two things which have absolutely not changed in this very different year. We are, like our ancestors, facing a dark night. It's an uncertain time. And we're going to be anxious. We're not always going to be patient or filled with the peace or the compassion of Christmas. But we each have a light to share. And when we can access that light and shine it on other people's lives through a gift of kindness, a donation of a toy, a donation to a food bank, a word of encouragement to someone else, then we're like those people walking up that mountainside, hanging their lights on a peg that warms up the entire space for everyone. Then we are like the shepherds and the wise men and the angels singing. We have a coming together of community, the divine, the secular. It all becomes part of the great and wondrous gift of us bringing light to the world. So I wish for you this Christmas Eve, even though things are different, that you find the light of what is new and enjoyable in this season, that you remember that love and kindness, the basis of Christmas, have not changed. They're more present than ever. And that you enter the year ahead knowing that the world needs your light. You can help us shine in the darkness, and together we can make a mighty and a warm glow. So this Christmas, and during the months ahead, shine your light, and the world will be lit with your love. Thanks be to God.
Hi, my name's Ken Whiteley, and I just wrote a new little bit for a song that's from my Christmas album that was inspired really by the services at Roncesvalles United Church. Christmas Eve, as evening falls, people come to celebrate and answer to the call. Candles lit on Roncesvalles Avenue, and I can't imagine Christmas without you. I can't imagine Christmas without you. So it's always such a wonderful event, and we look forward to meeting in person in years to come, and I'm glad that the church is at least sending out this virtual message, and I just hope everyone feels that love and feels that sense of celebration in what this holiday can truly mean. Feel that light, and we share it in whatever way we can. So my love, and all the singers and family that have come out to celebrate with the people at Roncesvalles United Church, just sending that love out now, and looking forward to next year when we can sing together in the same beautiful space.
As I walk the darkening streets, I felt a glow within me grow. People passed, both happy and sad. I wished somehow they all could know. To light the light within your heart, light the light of Christmas. To light the light within your heart, light the light of Christmas.
It's almost time to end our time together, and I'm so grateful to all of you for joining us by video this year for Christmas Eve. I want to thank lots of people. Ken Whiteley, who is a staple of our Roncesvalles Christmas Eve services. Thank you for sharing your music by video this year. Thank you to Sid, who does our recording. Thank you to Heidi, who reminded me that the toys arrived one by one like lights to that tiny church. Thank you to everyone who donates food and warm clothing and money to Roncesvalles United Church. Our meal program continues to support people on the street and in encampments, and we are so grateful for the ways that you shine your light in the world so that we can give people a warmer winter. And now, may the blessings of God, by whatever name you call God and however you know it in your life, be with you this Christmas. May we feel the kindness and the love that this season has always been meant to bring. May we bring the greenery of our joy to each other, and may we always remember that every day there's a peg with your name on it, a place for you to hang your light in the world and bring your gift of love. The world's waiting for you. So you ready to sing Amen and do our dancing? Sid has provided us some video of dancing by candlelight in Christmases past. Some of our Roncesvalles United Church volunteers and members have given us videos of dancing for Christmas present, and I'm going to change my clothes because it's time for dancing. So hold on. So if you have been at Roncesvalles United Church on Christmas Eve, you know that we always end with everybody dancing, as I said. And this year, since we're all at home and we really can dance like no one is watching, I am dancing in my Snoopy dancing bathrobe. Got it? Here we go. We're going to dance together. We're going to celebrate the light. We're going to bring our light to the world. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Baby Jesus, amen, lying in a manger, amen, on Christmas morning, amen, amen, amen. See the three wise men, amen, following a star, amen, bringing him gifts now. Yeah. gives us voice, that shines for peace, that is love's call. Dispel the darkness, greed and strife, be present here